welcome to the Preacher's Plate. I am your host, Chef Preacher Man, and you know what? I can't believe it. It's actually cold here in North Central Texas. Unbelievable. It never happens like this. But before I get into all that, let me just ask you to do me a favor. I appreciate you coming by the channel today, and I pray that you're having a good day. Now, would you do me a favor? Would you subscribe to our channel if you've not already done so? And would you hit that little notification bell? That lets you know next time the preacher puts something out on the plate or the bowl. And then also hit that thumbs up and like these videos, share these videos, help us grow the channel, and we would certainly be much obliged. Well, as I said, it's a little bit chilly here in Texas, and I can't believe it. Right now, the temperature is actually 30 degrees in North Central Texas, and I'm one of those guys. I'm a little bit weird. Maybe some of y'all are like this, maybe you're not. I do not like to have soups and stews and chilies and things like that unless it's cold enough. That's just me. That's how I was raised. And some people could care less, but that's not me. So since it's chilly enough or cold enough today, I think the best thing we can do is make a pot of chili. And so I've got a few ingredients here today. I'm going to show you a basic chili recipe. I'll be honest with you, there's nothing real special or fancy about my chili, but it's something that everybody loves. It's a tradition we have. My grandmother made chili this way, and I just learned, and I never really messed with it. I have a few improvisations here and there, but nothing really ever strays away from the original chili recipe that we have. Now, what I'm going to do today, I've got a couple of pounds here, actually about 3.5, 4 pounds of some 90-10 or 80-20 chili meat. It's ground beef that's already been cut a little bit thicker for chili. And then I've got some Campbell's tomato juice. This is really helpful in the making of the chili. I've got a little bit of organic ketchup, and you'll see as we put these things together why I do what I do. We've got some McCormick chili powder, and then two little small cans. I think these are 6 ounces of tomato paste. Now, the reason I use the tomato paste and the ketchup, it helps to thicken what we like. We like a good thick chili. It's got to be balanced. It's got to have some soup to it, but it's got to be consistent enough. And what we're going to end up doing here by the time this is all over is we're going to make a Texas Frito pie. And it's a Texas staple here in the state of Texas. And you've got to have some Frito corn chips and some cheese and all their favorite toppings. And when it's all done, we'll come together and show you how we make our Texas Frito pie. But before we can ever make a Frito pie, we've got to have some chili. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start browning this meat, and as I'm browning it, as far as the chili powder goes, by the time the recipe's over and done with, I will use about half the bottle. And some of you might use Williams or other chili powders with the the packets and all of that. And so you do what you like to do, but this is how I'm doing this. And somebody might want to do this real easy. I'm starting it. It's about 8:30 in the morning. My son and I have got a lot of housework to do outside today to get ready for Christmas. We're going to put some lights up and stuff like that, and some other yard work we need to do. And it rained all day yesterday, so we got to do it today. And that being said, there's going to be nothing better to look forward to at the end of this day than a hot bowl, I'm talking about, of chili. Oh man, cheese and Frito chips, Texas Frito pie, right here on the Preacher's Plate. So what I'm going to do is get started on these, and I'll bring you right back and show you once we got it in the pan. All right, y'all, look, now I've got the hamburger meat in the pot. And so I always start with a little bit of salt and pepper, so we're just going to do a little bit of salt. There's about, I turned out to be almost 5 pounds of hamburger, so that's good. Just going to make sure we get it good and salted. That's about the only salt that we'll put in this. And then some heavy coarse ground pepper. I like that pepper. Salt and pepper is good. The fat's going to render, and then we're going to strain it. But right now I'm just trying to get the flavor of the meat going real good. I'm going to just I like pepper. We like a lot of pepper around here. That's going to cook out, so that's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and start with a little bit of the chili powder just to kind of get this meat seasoned real good. And I kind of know what I like, what I'm aiming for. But I just cover that top part like that, and that'll cook down into the meat. That's about probably a 1/4 cup, something like that, on that chili powder. Now we're just going to kind of let this simmer and let it start cooking down, and we'll come back here in just a minute and show you what it looks like when it starts getting ready to be strained. Okay, y'all, look at that meat. It is really browning up nicely. It's all the fat is coming up. What I like to do when it's about this point, it's kind of like a medium rare meat right now. There's still a little bit of red in it, but it's really browning up. So while it's at that point, I want to go ahead and just over the top I'm just gonna cover it with a little more chili powder just to kind of get that to render in real good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix that in, and I'm gonna let it just kind of simmer for about 5 more minutes. And what I'll do is I will strain all the fat off of it. Now let me say this, Grandma never strained the fat off any of her chili meat. She just didn't. They were convinced there was more flavor in it. And I agree, it can be that way. Me personally, if you get a leaner meat, you don't have to do that. I always kind of look at it, there's a lot of fat in here, so I'm going to strain it off of there. You'll still have a little bit of fat once you put it back in the pot and let it start getting hot again and season it up with all your stuff. So, but when I get it like this, I mean, you can see there's a lot of fat in there. I'm just kind of letting that chili powder just kind of simmer around that meat. And we're going to lose some of that because we're going to strain all that fat, and that's where we'll put the rest back in. But let me let this sit for about 5 more minutes, and then I'll strain the fat and I'll come back and we'll walk through how we put this final product together and let it just sit all day long. We'll be right back here on the Preacher's Plate. All right, y'all, look at there. Now we've got that meat nice and strained, got all the fat off of it. We're going to go ahead and start with some more chili powder. We're going to add that chili powder. That's about, we probably might add a little bit more here in a little while. While that's getting in there, I'm going to take these 2 cans of tomato paste and scoop those down inside of there. What that does is help with, it's really more of a thickening agent, and that's what I like to use, so it helps a lot. We're going to get those 2 cans of tomato paste down inside there. We're going to start mixing all this up and get ready to have our base in there. So there's 1 can. Let's get the other can in there. You would only use 1 can for less than 2.5 pounds. Like I said, we come up with almost 5 pounds when we added both packs of meat in there, so that's okay. And we're going to have it, and I like it thick, and this tomato paste has it just doesn't take away from the flavor of the chili. It kind of adds to it. And some people would say this is more of a Midwestern chili. I don't know about all that. I just know that's what I've been eating, and for many years, and my kids love it, my wife loves it, and so we'll use this again. Just kind of use that a little bit, kind of get some of that off of there. All right, now we've got that, so I'm going to start mixing in some of this and kind of getting that chili powder in there again. It's going to cook a little bit, and then once we'll get all that mixed in real good, and it's getting real good and thick and letting it get heated up again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one more little bit of helping of the chili powder across the top. Just like so. That'll be about all the chili powder. I'll taste it later, and if it's not quite there, we'll add to it. One thing that's important to remember, when we let this sit all day long, that chili powder is going to render some flavor in there. It's going to be amazing. Now I just take a little bit of this ketchup. I don't use a lot. Just kind of cover the top where we just put that chili powder, and then we're going to mix it in, and then we'll get it good and thick, and then we'll add our tomato juice, and we'll see what we got here. So let's do this. That's probably about 1/4 of that bottle. I don't measure things out when I know the recipe by heart, and so I'd say about 1/4 a bottle, something like that. And we're just kind of mixing that in. See how that works? And that gets that chili powder mixed in there real good where you don't have clumps of powder. It just gives it a tremendous flavor. And I'm just going to let that kind of simmer for just a couple seconds here. Not very long at all, really, because I'm ready to put this thing together. And look at that. Doesn't that look good, y'all? I'm talking about, now if you're sometimes I try different things. You can put whatever you want at this point. If you want to put some red kidney beans in there, I think red kidney beans are good in a chili. Now we're making Frito pie out of this, so I'm not going to put the beans in there. You can, it's a preference thing. You know, people put onions and stuff like that, sausage, whatever. But I'm not going to do that. Now look at that. That is a nice thick chili base. And what we're going to do, we're going to put about half this bottle of tomato juice in there, and we're going to put about half the bottle, just a little more, and we'll add this later on as it gets thick. So we just set that aside, and look at that right there. Now we got a nice chili going here, and it's going to be wonderful. Now I'm going to mix that in real good, and let that, look at that. Oh my goodness, that is going to be tremendous. And we're just going to let that simmer all day long, and I'm talking about all day, like just doesn't matter. So what I'll do is I'm going to bring it up to a boil and just get it real hot. And I'm going to turn it off and put the lid on it, and we'll let it sit until later on. Oh, probably about half the day I'll come in, take a break, and I'll check it and see what we need to do if we're ready to add the rest of the tomato juice. We don't want it too runny. I mean, look at that. That's a nice consistency there. It's going to make a great Frito pie. or if you just want a bowl of chili, it's a good day for it. And I'll just kind of pack that down like that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring up the heat and let it kind of start bubbling. If you just watch it, it won't take long. We'll get it to bubbling. When it starts to bubbling, and then we're going to put that lid on there and just let it simmer all day long. I'm talking about right here on the preacher's plate. Look at that. Are you watching it? This is amazing. I get excited about the little parts. You see the bubbling around the inside? Look at that. It's starting to bubble. And if I just move one of these just a little bit, look at that. It's going to start really getting with it. Y'all see that? Now that's all I want. I don't want it to a full-blown boil. I just want it to kind of bubble and really get going good. And then I'm just going to do this right here. I'm going to set that lid on there, and we're going to turn it off. And we'll have to check back on it later on. But see that right there? You got a nice hot pot of chili. The lid's on it. We'll come back here later on this afternoon, and we'll see what we've got here with this Texas chili right here on the preacher's plate. All right, y'all, been making this chili from the rooftop all day long. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Now, I tasted it. It needs just a little more chili powder. So we're going to add just a little more chili powder to that and mix it in real good. And it's going to be wonderful right here on the preacher's plate. Look at that. So I'm going to mix that in, let it sit a good few minutes, and we'll come right back and should be ready to serve some chili Texas Frito pie right here on the preacher's plate. It has been a long, long day. It's been a cold day up on the rooftop. That's right. That's where I've been. Up on the rooftop, click, click, click. Hanging pretty Christmas lights for my chick. Woo! Mama likes them, so we did it. We had a good time. Anyhow, look what we got here. This is what you need for Texas Frito pie. So we've got our chili. Look at that chili. That chili right there is absolutely scrumdiddlyumptious. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right. Well, we got none other than Fritos. What do I like? I like Fritos. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a Texas Frito pie here. And this is just some of the stuff we had around. I didn't have no beans or nothing like that, so I just made what I had. This is a really easy recipe. Just you let it cook from the rooftop, man. Really, just start it in the morning, let it simmer all day long. I came in for a quick lunch break, and I just turned it up for about 5-10 minutes, let it get really bubbly again, turned it back off, and stirred it real good. And I did add the remainder of the tomato juice a little while earlier. I didn't catch that on camera, but that's what you do about halfway through. As it gets too thick, it needed it, so it was time. And I added a little chili powder a minute ago, like you saw. And so that's really all you do. And you know, there's 3 things that I always say you need in the preacher's kitchen. That's love, amen, creativity, and passion. And the thing is, there's no creativity here today. There's a little passion. I'm excited about having this. I'm excited about sharing it with my family. But this is a dish that was created by love. I love my family. My family loves this chili, and I love this chili. So we're all going to share our love together tonight around the table in just a little while. But before I do, let me show you how we assemble our Texas Frito pie here. You'll start with good old-fashioned Fritos. Notice they got the Christmas trees and stuff on there. It's time. Amen. And you just pour, I don't know, a little bowl, about that many Fritos in there. You don't need a whole lot. And you can make more, you know. And what I like to do is put a little bit of cheese, a little shredded cheese on top. And then we're going to add the chili. We're going to put just about a spoonful or so of chili on there. Just add that chili right there, like so. And just like that. Then we're going to add a little more of the cheese. Just like that, and kind of let it get down in there. That's beautiful. One little dash of sour cream. Amen. Now we got this beautiful bowl of Texas Frito pie. And look at it. We're going to get a scoop of this. Look at it. I'm going to get a little bit of that sour cream. And look at there. You got the Fritos, the cheese, the chili, the sour cream. It's really crunchy. You hear the crunch of those Fritos? Oh my goodness. That right there. I made this on the roof, y'all. Woo, rooftop chili. I'm talking about good stuff. I can't help myself, y'all. It's cold. I've been out there all day. This is good. Woo! Woo! Yeah! I'm sorry. I forgot where I was. No, I didn't. I'm on the preacher's plate. This is crazy. You need to get a bowl of that right there. Woo! It's good stuff I'm talking about. Texas chili Frito pie right here on the preacher's plate. Can't wait to see y'all next time. Love y'all. See you next time right here on the preacher's plate. And don't forget, taste and see that the Lord is good.